Alright, what's going on, y'all? It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon. Man, I've gotten so many things done today. I got an Instapot going with bone stock. And so did you know that with this Instapot, actually, whether you're using an Instapot or not, you can make like 3 to 4 batches of stock out of the same set of bones. And I've been doing that, and every successive batch actually gets more gelatinized, or at least it has with the Instant Pot. So I got $15 worth of bones from Christensen Farms. I pop it in there within 4 hours, like I've done the equivalent of a 24-hour simmer in the Instant Pot. And then I pour that into my crock pot, and then I do that 2 or 3 more times until I fill the crock pot up. And I've got stock for several weeks, you know. So got that done today. Been in here working on some stuff for some future talks that we have coming up. And you know, Sundays are my days to reflect and think about what we have going on, what we have coming up, and then also to think about you guys, you know. Try to think about something to put out that's motivational, and sometimes I struggle with it, you know, because I feel like a lot of this stuff is stuff that you've already heard, and at the same time, we got some wind going. It's always like that with me. And at the same time, I feel like, you know, since all this information is from the heart, you can't hear it too often, all right? So it's Sunday, we're about to start the week off. I think for most of us, having some kind of a goal to be spot on Monday through Friday, or at least have an intention to be spot on Monday through Friday, is very reasonable, very doable, because we all have, or most of us have, you know, work schedules and things that are a little bit more rigid. And so that routine usually allows us to be a little bit more diligent with what we have going on, all right? Remember, when it comes to the food, you're only 1 meal away from being back on track, no matter where you're at right now. 1 meal away, you get it right, and you start to feel better because of what you're doing. And then you could take it to another level and say you're only 1 day away from feeling amazing, and that's the absolute truth. You know, I have some nights here and there where I'm off a little bit. I feel off the next day, but I'm spot on that next day, because what I'm doing today is really going to impact my tomorrow. And so within 1 day of being spot on with everything, like, I already start to feel amazing again, you know? So you're only 1 day away from feeling amazing, which means that all you have to do is focus on getting tomorrow morning right, getting that first meal right, maybe even having a goal or intention to start the day off with your priming and practice process. And you know, we had a really good discussion in our Purest Fat Loss program about like getting a lot of things done at once. You know, so for a lot of us, I feel like it feels overwhelming, perceptionally overwhelming, to think about all these different things that we should be doing on a daily basis in addition to the food, like getting sun exposure, turning off all our stuff at night, grounding and earthing, priming and practice and meditation. You know, when you think, just saying that right there, like, that's a lot of stuff to kind of be responsible for. And I think perceptually it can be a little bit chaotic on how to piece that all together. But if you try to knock as many things out at once as possible, like, you've pretty much cleaned up most of what you need to do for the day. So you get your first meal spot on. You spend some time priming and practice in the sun or outdoors. You know, remember, we don't have to be sun tanning or sun bathing, but outdoors. Spend some time priming and practice, sitting outside, and take your shoes off, and you're knocking 3 things out at once. You know, you're doing your whole priming and practice process, you're getting some sun exposure, the bright light exposure, and then you're also grounded. So, and I mean, that's the majority of the battle right there. Get your first meal spot on, do this little priming and practice piece outdoors while you're grounded. I mean, what else do you have left? You know, that's about all of it. You know, remember, if you want to feel as amazing as possible, and I'm telling you what, I'm on a kick right now because I'm in this Purest Fat Loss program, and my vibrancy is just at another level. Like, I have learned a new default, and I am never going back to my old way of doing things. But, you know, the way that I got here was I had to put myself through an experiment where I committed to 2 or 3 days of being 100% spot on. So what we'd recommend is, instead of, you know, just kind of being off a little bit most days, like, have a few days, or maybe Monday through Friday is a great recommendation, where you're just 100% spot on, because within 2 or 3 days, you're going to start to feel so good that it gives you momentum to continue to make better decisions. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for this window of time where we're diligent enough with what we know is right, that we feel it, and in that feeling, we want to keep moving forward with it. All right? So have an intention to do the best that you can, Remember, we're striving for perfection, but better is better, right? And there is no such thing as failure. There's only feedback. So as I'm going through this process and I'm not doing the things that I feel like are serving me, but I'm having the intention that I want to do them, you got to be easy on yourself. You're striving for perfection. There's no failure, only feedback. Every time we do something, we're either getting what we want or we're getting feedback to tell us what we need to change in order to get what we want. And then always remember that when we're looking for these 100% days, good enough is just not good enough. You know, we want to strive for the best. For the most part is not good enough. We have conversations with people all the time, like, how are you doing with the food? Yeah, I'm doing it for the most part. What does that mean for the most part? You know, if you're having like a slip up every night, that's not good enough. You need to strive for that 100% day so that you can feel it and experience it. And then that will give you momentum to continue to make better decisions. I think that's all I got. Yeah, I'm about to go to the park and set up my slack line and throw the frisbee with Conan and try to relax the rest of the day. And thinking about you guys. Let us know if we can do anything for you, okay? We mean that. Thank you. See ya.